Peace and blessings, family. Once again, it's time for me to check in for a bit with another edition of Spiritual Food for Thought. I always say, family, I hope that all is well between you and your relationship with the Creator. This is absolute necessity for those of us who understand and believe, because we understand. You know, it was charged to us, family, in all our getting to get understanding. And so as we're asking for the understanding of our Creator, family, is like we continue to ask for that greater portion of His Spirit that He's placed in us to give us the understanding that we need. And family, you know, we all have a path, and it's our creation process as we go through this experience in this battle of good and evil. It is a necessary part of our refinement, because the only way we could be refined, family, is that we have to be tried and tested. You know what I'm saying? As I said, family, ain't no hocus pocus. There ain't no something forming out of the midair and all that kind of stuff. No, in order for it to really exist, it has to be a process. It was taken and brought through a process. Okay, and so we have to understand this was the Father's will and what He chose, how He chose to create all things. You know what I'm saying? But we must understand and never forget, family, that we are created beings, and we was created with a purpose, and we're supposed to be serving our Creator. But see, in our flesh, we don't have that sense of our Creator. We become a God unto ourselves, which is the very thing that actually leading us to our own destruction, because it's nothing more than the spirit of pride. What's the spirit of pride? It's the devil. It's the nature of the devil. That's what the spirit of pride is. And in our flesh, we walk in that same spirit. As I said, the devil had to possess an earthen vessel in order for him to express itself, because this is how the spiritual world works. It has to possess a material matter, you know what I'm saying, in order to express itself. This is why the battle is for our minds as man, because this is where the battle is being fought. As we become one mind with the devil, then we do the works of the devil. And just like the devil wants to be worshipped and lifted up, so do we in our flesh to feel the same way. So it's the same nature. It's an antichrist nature, because the Spirit of Christ is what makes us one. As we become one with our Creator, we become one with all things, because we're able to see the value of the things that the Creator has created in nature. And so we're able to live in harmony with that. In our flesh, we live unnaturally, because this is the realm of death. We have to understand death is unnatural, because if the Father is about life and the oneness of His love and these things like that, then how can death be from Him? You know what I'm saying? No, death comes about as our pride possesses our minds and causes us even to create all these gods we say that we believe in. But as I said, in our flesh, we worship ourselves, and we desire for us to be lifted up. That's why we ain't never satisfied with the things of this world. You look around, there's people got more money than they could ever use in their life, yet they continue to want more. How sick is that shit? I'm sorry, it is what it is. So that's one of the reasons why it was spoken to us. We can't serve our Creator and money. It ain't possible, because money is a result of one of the devil's devices they use to enslave us through the lies. Because if the earth belongs to our Creator and the fullness of the earth, what the hell the devil or anybody else got business trying to possess something that the Creator created, and then you're going to turn around and basically say, this is mine, and if you want some of it, you got to pay me for it. Yeah, satanic. That's the devil's mind, and that's the mind of this flesh. Because in the kingdom, when the kingdom comes forth, ain't going to be no damn money. What the hell we need money? These things are already given to us. So we the only creatures that it just makes me shake my head when you stop thinking. We the only creatures that under the creation that the Father has given the breath of life to, we the only creature got to pay to have a spot. You know what I'm saying? That's some sick stuff. That's why I said, man, the only one the Creator meant for us to control is ourselves. He never meant for us to control or rule over others. You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is we must be born again. We must seek after and search after and be brought into the understanding of our minds where we one with our Creator. As we understand his love and forgiveness and stuff for us and how it even works and all that kind of stuff, family, you know, we can't help. It changes our nature and causes us to walk under the spirit of divine love also. You know what I'm saying? And as I said, because the goal of the Creator is to make us one with him, each other, our fellow creatures, and Mother Earth, who he brought us all forth from. Such is the kingdom of heaven. It's when the will of this earth becomes one with the will of heaven. So as that's so, family, what we got is a world in perfect harmony where no more death or anything that cuts off the flow of life. You know what I'm saying? And this is the realm of eternity, is what this is. Because this where we are right now, this is our creation process. And it is what it is. And it's the only purpose for it, that the Father could prove the investment of his spirit that he placed in those who do understand, thus believe. So, with that said, family, before I go on, I just want to say I'm not no teacher. I'm not no kind of prophet. I ain't trying to tell you what to do or believe, because that's the job of the Holy Spirit in you. You know what I'm saying? I just want to put thoughts out there to give us something to consider and think about. Take these things to the Father, and all praise to the Most High. If it makes sense to you and it begins to transform your life, all praise to the Most High. And guess what? If it don't do nothing for you, praise the Most High anyway. Because the bottom line is, it is this world proves it out. The bottom line is, there's a whole lot of people don't have an ear to hear what the Father is saying today. It is what it is, because the call of the flesh is an adversary of the Most High. So it wasn't meant to be one with the Father. Because in our flesh, we reject the will of the Father. This is why we have to be born of the Spirit in our minds to be changed. And as we understand it, it changes our nature. Because as I said, the Father is creating us through nature and is going to ultimately deliver us as he makes us one with him in nature. So we no longer violate the natural laws or the higher laws of the Creator. And that's the oneness of his love. So, that said, family, I think what I want to talk about right now is falling away. See, there's been a lot of talk. You're talking about people turning from God and people turning away from the church and walking away from the church and all of this old kind of stuff. The bottom line is, family, when it's talking about, I know I'm going to just use this one deal where it talked about how the Antichrist, and at the time that he's revealed, and it talks about how it's going to be a great falling away, and what religious sect talks about is that falling away from the church. That people going to be leaving churches and all that kind of stuff. So this is the great falling away. So we know now that the time of the Messiah is right at the door now, because, you know, look at the great falling away. I got one question. How can we fall away from the truth, family, if we never got the truth? I mean, really, think about that stuff. The condition of us and the condition of this world proves that we ain't never got that truth. Because once we come into the presence of our Creator under his absolute truth, we can't go back. So how is there a great falling away and with the church, right? And religion and all this stuff, okay? And the false prophet in them places will say, see, this is the great falling away because this is the time of Christ and all that kind of stuff. But how, family, once again, I ask the question, how can you fall away from the truth if you never got it? So, I say that to say this. This is why we need the mind of Christ. See, because when we had an understanding of our Creator, we're talking about the one that's in control and that's running this thing and causing this thing to happen. And we understand that we are players. All of us is player in this play of creation. Creation ain't done yet. This is what we're in the midst of, because eventually the Father's purpose for allowing this stuff to go on, this darkness and all this stuff to go on, he ain't gonna have no more use for it. Because he will have accomplished his creation through this creation process. So we got to understand something, family. How can we fall away from the truth if we never got the truth? The condition of this world, our condition, our spiritual condition and stuff in our flesh, it proves the reality that ain't possible. Because if we never got the truth, under the spirit of religion, family, we never got the truth. This is why the call of the Spirit now is that we have to seek and search him out for ourselves, family, to understand what the Creator is doing, what he wants, and what his plans is moving forward with us. How can we serve him in the kingdom, family, if we don't even understand that service and what it is and its purpose and all these things? See, the bottom line is, the truth is that all the Father ever wanted us to be is ourselves, but with the understanding of his mind. That's an absolute truth. And his Son came into this world to show us that, to demonstrate what he was talking about. Because as I said, because we've been conformed to the image of this world, we've been enslaved to the spirit of lust and desires and pleasure and all these things that dull our senses, excuse me, that dull our senses, that causes us to do nothing but worship our own selves. Because we think about this world, the things of this world, what we can get out of this and what we can do out of that. If we get this, I'm happy, in the pursuit of happiness and all of this stuff. And the bottom line is to love the things of the world is to be an enemy against the Most High Power. Because as I said, in this realm of our consciousness right now, family, this is the realm of creation. You know what I'm saying? This is our valley of death experience as we go through the things of this world. Because the bottom line, we have to experience these things because it's the only way we really live. There ain't no teacher-like experience, family. You can hear words all day and all that kind of stuff, but what changes us is as we go through the thing that the Father's taken us, and then he explains and shows us plainly what we're dealing with. And once we get that, next level, closer to the kingdom, one step closer to the kingdom. And so the bottom line is, family, we got to understand this stuff. I ain't talking about all this falling away from the faith. And then that's the other thing, falling away from the faith. Boy, tell me, how is that not show us our need to be delivered from that lie that comes from religion? Because religion is man's self-righteousness. And he lives that what? By faith. Faith is what? The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. That's stuff that don't exist, family. When you cut it down to what it is, either it's real or it's not. Either we have understanding or we don't. It ain't no in the middle. Faith causes people to walk in that gray place where, yeah, it sounds good, sounds true and stuff, but if you really get into it, understanding it for what it is, you see, half truth is the lie. And that's what we get in religion. We get half truths. Just enough to get us to accept something that, even though we don't fully understand, we accept it anyway. When the Father's charged to us as his children is what? In all your get understanding. See, this kind of revelation that the Father's bringing forth, this is the understanding of his Spirit, family, to our minds. And as we understand it, family, we get it. And once we get it, we start walking in it. You know what I'm saying? And so the bottom line is, we talk about this falling away. Know what the falling away really is, family? Is that the scales are darkness is being taken away from our eyes, and we can see spiritually what's going on. And guess what that do? That free us to grow up and go on in our walk into ultimately coming into our inheritance of the Father's kingdom, which we are going to be a part of that because we're being born again, because we're receiving the mind of Christ. And as I said, Christ is the creator. The only Christ could be is the creator. If the Son was created in what he was, because he came in this form, so he was created. So guess what? How can he be the Father? See what I'm saying? How can he be the Father? He always gave glory to the Father. He said, my Father's greater than me. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line is, hey, we have to understand that that's through the Spirit of Christ that gives us a standing of what we dealing with, whether it's true or not. And as I said, it ain't hard to define the truths of the kingdom, because what it is going to lift up the Father, and it's going to continue to humble us and bring us to understand we absolutely need to understand ourselves through the eyes of our Creator. We need to understand him, and then it causes us to begin to understand ourselves. And this is our growth process. So guess what? See, the real falling away is all these lies that we've been enslaved to. The scales of darkness is being removed from our eyes by the truth of the Spirit that's within us. So we see things through the eyes of our Creator. So what does that cause us to do? Give him the highest form of praise and worship that there is, and that's our obedience, because we understand. So the bottom line is, this falling away is not falling away from the religious system and order, because if we never got the truth, how can you fall away from the truth? Don't even make sense. So the bottom line is, we got to understand, family, it's the power and the understanding of our Creator that's going to deliver us ultimately from the darkness of this world. It's in the process that's happening right now, but at some point, the Father ain't going to have no more use for this realm that's been used to process us. When he's ready to truly bring into existence his Spirit, where we all going to be made one with him, each other, our fellow creatures, and Mother Earth, who he brought us all forth from, when that time comes, all this stuff gonna go. That's why it's stupid. Why the hell should we continue to seek after things in this world and we get ready to walk away from them? Because this world is unnatural. And to break the higher laws of the Creator is when we walk in an unnatural nature. So we do things opposite, and we do things that cut the flow of life off. The spirit of death is what it is. As I said, we so hung up in the physical, and we in our flesh we judge everything by the understanding of our flesh, and it's one big lie. The world proves it. The condition of the world proves it, and even in our own lives, being honest. You know what I'm saying? And the beauty of spirit, man, it brings us to that pure heart place where we could be honest, because we understand that what the Father made us. This is our experience, his choice. Even in this darkness that we've been in, he allowed this stuff to happen, family, because it was absolutely necessary for us to be born again. Because without no process, nothing exist in truth. You know what I'm saying? And so, as I said, family, to falling away is not us turning from churches and stuff like that. You know, that's ultimately, I guess in a sense though, yeah. Because we turning away, because as we receive the truth and have these scales of darkness taken off our eyes, we are empowered then to separate from all kind of religious stuff. Because as I said, religion is man doing what he thinks the Creator wants, but he don't know the Creator because he ain't been born in his spirit. So he's going off a hearsay of others and the things that he's been taught by men, whether it's straight out their mouths in your presence or it's written in a book. And all the propaganda of man is the writings of man and the doctrines that they teach. And it's all for the ruling class to stay in power, to keep us separated from the truth. And that truth is what? We need to understand ourselves through the eyes of our Creator. So then we can be empowered to do what he says and go on through this process until he says, Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your master. The best words ever for that a created being could hear. You know what I'm saying? So I guess pretty much, family, that's all I got to say on that. But make no mistake, that falling away, how can we fall away when we never got the truth? It's an oxymoron. See, because religion says we got the truth, but it ain't absolute. Because it ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because you got those that profit from this teachings and stuff like that. And then you got the sheep that's being ripped off by all these false prophets and teachers out here. And this is why I continue to say, family, the only teacher we really got today is the Holy Spirit that's in us. That piece of the Father that he put in us for such a time as these. To open our eyes. So take away the scales of darkness. That's the falling away that's happening in the spirit. We've been brought into the oneness of our Creator through the Spirit, his divine truth that makes perfect sense for us to be changed so that we can become one with him in nature and live the way he desired us to live in the first place. Just ain't it. This is a fabrication. This is the devil. This is how he ruled the world, through the lust of our flesh. Okay? So, I think with that said, family, that's about all I got to say. But remember, family, you know, the real falling away is the scales of darkness, the lies and everything we've been through in this world is falling away from our eyes because it's the Spirit of our Father that we seeing these things in the Spirit. So this is empowering us to turn from this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, family, as a child of the Most High, the time is going to come, and it ain't going to be much longer that we are going to have to walk away from this world as we know it and trust the Father to do and meet our needs and all that kind of stuff. Every time deliverance came, the Father used nature, the power of nature, to bring forth his absolute truth and free us. So it's no different now. That's what's going to happen. So, with that said, family, I hope I said something and gave you something to think about. You know, and as I say, I'm not trying to teach you or persuade you or nothing. Ain't my place. The Holy Spirit is the only one that can persuade us as we understand in a way that basically the scales of darkness is falling away from our eyes. So, family, with that said, as I said, I hope the Most High bless you and keep you and watch over you in every way and meet your every need as long as you continue to seek and search him out for yourself. So with that said, family, till next time, I would say one love and peace.